Hey, what's up, fellas? It's Mike. I've been really not wanting to do this video for a long time just because I know everyone's gonna be like, you're trying to teach people to cheat. You're trying to teach people, you're killing the sport. No, I'm not. The reason why I'm making this video is because if you hit somebody and they wipe the hit off, just because you're screaming like a lunatic that you hit them, you're not a neutral player, okay? There's no such thing as neutral players in paintball, okay? So they kind of did that in the early 90s. They don't do that anymore. So if you're screaming, I hit him, I know I hit him, I hit him, and all of a sudden you get mowed, well, you're out of the game, okay? So the reason why I'm gonna do this video is so that you're more aware that, yeah, there are players that cheat. Now, if you're sitting there screaming like a lunatic, you're not, you're not neutral. So if you're jumping down, I hit him, I know I hit him, I hit him on the foot, okay, and all of a sudden you get blasted or your gun gets blasted as you're jumping around like an idiot, well, you're out of the game. So not only are you screaming like an idiot, well, now you just got out like an idiot, okay? I've seen players wipe on me. I mean, I play Central Florida Paintballs, freaking wipe Central. I mean, it's just part of paintball. For me personally, I try not to cheat. I don't cheat. If I get hit, I just get out, For me, I'd much rather reflect on what I did wrong than just stay in the game for an extra 2 seconds knowing that I just cheated. It doesn't do anything for me. Once you start cheating in paintball, paintball gets really boring, It's like playing the online games. Once you get the cheats, you usually stop playing after about a month. Well, probably because they ban you out of the servers, but I don't know anything about that. Anyway, I personally don't cheat. My philosophy on cheating, it's a personal preference, okay? Do whatever you want, do whatever you want. I don't personally care. For me, it's not worth it to spend all the money to come out here just to go around the rules of the game. It's more challenging for me, it's more fun for me to just call my hits when I get out and go back on the way to the dead box and reflect, what did I do wrong? Okay, well, I stuck my loader out, well, I better work on that. So once you just kind of say, well, I'm just gonna cheat, when you always have that shortcut, one, it's not gonna help you in the tournaments, as many people have found out, because once you get known as a cheating team, they're even more ruthless on you on the penalties than they normally are. But your skill level starts to drop quite a bit. So for me personally, my philosophy on cheating, do whatever you want. I don't personally care. If you cheat playing against me, I just shoot you more. So, okay, let's go through a couple of the different ways that people cheat. Now, the reason why I'm going to tell you this is so that if somebody does this, you don't freak out and you just continue to play. The player, if he cheats and the referee doesn't see the hit, he's still in the game and so are you. So you need to maintain a cool head. This is why I'm doing this video. Talk about the first thing, the wipe, okay? Very simple. Say, for instance, you come out. Let's say the ball hits you here, like on the tank. Well, what some players will do is they'll wipe the hit off as they go back to get their pod. Okay, I've seen players do this when I've hit them. Ref goes over and checks them, doesn't see the paint, and they're still in. That's another thing. Basically a wipe. They can use anything they can to wipe the hit off. The next thing is kind of a combination of a wipe, or not necessarily a wipe or anything like that. It's called the run. What a lot of players will do is if they get hit in a spot where they don't think they can wipe it, they just run down the field and try to shoot everybody out, and in the mass chaos, the game's all blown and no one knows what happened, okay? That's called the run. A lot of times when people do that, you need to stay on the trigger and paint that person as much as you possibly can. I've seen it happen where as I'm shooting cross field, I clip the person in the pack, the player knows that he's been hit, and he just gets up and starts running down the field. Well, if I'm prepared for that, I'm leading in front of him, just machine gunning him as much as I possibly can to get as much paint on him to stop him from wrecking the game. A lot of players do that in tournaments. I call it the run. They get hit and they just take off down the field. You need to be ready for that. So if you shoot cross field and you clip him in the pack and you don't see him getting out, you may want to come back on and just stay on the trigger to prevent him from just running down the field. It happens a lot. Sometimes they may be doing it as a cheat, sometimes they're not doing it to cheat, but you need to make sure that if you clip him in the pack, you stay on the trigger and try to get as much paint on him as you possibly can so the ref goes and pulls him out. The next thing is called the jersey grab, okay? This is when, let's say for instance, I'm shooting, and I get hit in the shoulder, okay? I get hit right here. Some players, what they'll do is like, okay, I get hit in the shoulder. This is what's called the jersey grab. They'll grab the hit with their hand, pull their jersey down, and then they'll say, ref, I think I'm hit on the back. I think I'm hit on the back. I'm sorry if I screwed up the microphone, but they'll grab their jersey and they'll grab the hit in their hand, pull it down, and say, I'm hit in the back, I got hit in the back, got hit in the back. Well, what happens when they let go of the jersey? Well, the hit's all dispersed and half of it's in their hand. So that's called the jersey grab. The next thing is called the slide. Okay, now this is another thing that causes a lot of people to freak out. If as somebody's running towards the snake, okay, you hit him in the chest and you see him slide, that hit's gone. Whether you want it to be, you know, whether you want him to be out or not, most likely he's not going to get out. So for you to sit there and just keep screaming, I know I hit him, I know I hit him, get him out, ref, I hit him on the chest. Well, the ref's going to go and check him, and there's not going to be any paint on him. So that's called the slide. A lot of players will do that as they're running up the field. You know, if they get hit in the chest and they slide into the bunker, that hit is gone, whether it was on there or not. They can also do it on the hip. Okay, so if you get hit in the, you know, like in the hip, and then you do a hip slide when you go in, that hit is gone. Don't waste your time telling the ref that you hit him. You know that hit is gone. Sometimes some people also do it on artificial turf is, as they're running down the field, they get hit in a spot, like let's say right here, where they know they can't slide it off. They'll just grab it, put it in their hand, and then they'll just slide their hand along the ground, and the hit's completely gone. So that kind of sucks. It happens. But, you know, like I said, the reason why I want to do this video, so you're not freaking out. I know if there's no paint on him, he's still alive, and so are you if a ref didn't see the hit. Okay, the next thing is called the bunker rub, okay? This is when, you know, as you're sitting here and you're shooting, you get clipped in the loader, and the players will come over here and rub the paint on there. Now, a dumb cheater will wipe the paint on the bunker without shooting the bunker first. A smart cheater knows to shoot the bunker first and then smear the paint on there, because obviously a referee is going to see, you know, a yellow streak on a clean bunker, but if he, as he goes to switch his hands, he'll shoot the bunker, so there's like 100 hits on it, and then drag his gun over and just start shooting over on the other side. Now, a dumb cheater will just put a streak on the back that most referees will pick up. A smart cheater will shoot the bunker first and smear your hit in with all of the paint that's on the bunker. So if you see a player, if you clip him on the loader and all of a sudden he goes to the left side, then all of a sudden comes back to the right and you see a whole bunch of stuff on there, he's pretty much wiped the hit off. So like I said, don't panic, just continue playing. Sure, you know, you can call the ref to go and check him or whatever, but most likely that's going to be disregarded in the paint that's on the bunker. The next thing is kind of a bunker rub, but it's a little bit different in that they use the bunker to rub a hit off of the body. So instead of the jersey grab, let's say for instance they're like this, okay, and they get hit like on the elbow. Okay, so let's say for somebody over here hits them on the left elbow right there. What they do is they rub up against the bunker as they go by it to get rid of all the paint that's on their elbow. So I've seen players do that to me too. I'll clip them in the loader, and next thing you know, you see them, they basically like shove the bunker completely out of the way and run by, and you know, now the paint, the paint is left on the bunker and it's no longer on the body. The last one that I'll cover with you is called the tank rub. And like I said, players have done this to me. I've seen them do it in tournaments where, let's say for instance, they're down here, or they drop their gun for a second to reload. You hit them in the shoulder. Well, what they do is they take their tank and they shove their back of their tank or their tank cover up against the shoulder and rub the hit. So they sit there and go like this and rub the hit into the jersey. As the referee comes over, they check and they look, all he's got is kind of a smear there. Oh, that's rubbed from when I slid in or whatever it is. So, you know, like I said, the reason why I did this video is not to teach people different ways of cheating. People, if they want to cheat, they're going to cheat. If they don't want to cheat, they don't want to cheat. The reason why I did this video is so that you can recognize if somebody has wiped off one of your hits and you're not freaking out like a lot of new players will do, saying, I hit him, I swear to God I hit him, and they're making this big massive scene of hysteria, and all of a sudden they get hit and they're out, and the other player's still in. So keep a calm head. If you see somebody, if you see somebody get hit and they play on, go tell them afterwards. But for the most part, I just kind of keep my mouth shut. But this is why it's important in paintball, especially in this day and age. You need to shoot somebody more than once. I mean, it's unfortunate. I know a lot of people are like, well, I only use 4 balls all day that I play. I'm a one shot, one bounce kind of guy, yada, yada, yada. Well, for me, I just keep shooting at them until their hand goes up. Pretty simple. I just keep shooting at them until their hand goes up, okay? Because many players, especially if you're in the field where there's known cheaters, they're not going to respect one hit. They're not going to respect the hit on the finger. They're not going to respect the tap on the knuckles. So you just got to keep shooting them. And if you haven't shot them 3 or 4 times, they're not out yet. Keep shooting them. So, unfortunately in paintball, there's not really any penalties for overshooting. I'm not saying shoot somebody 100 times, but sometimes it's okay to put, 4 or 5 balls on somebody just to make sure they've got enough paint that they can't wipe it off. So, hopefully that helps with cheating. I really didn't want to do this video, but I've also seen players, especially when they play their first tournament or they just get into airball, you know, they're in the back, they're freaking out, going hysterical because they think they hit somebody, and that player wiped that hit off 10 minutes ago. So hopefully this helps. Thanks for tuning in.